everyone, and welcome to this video on apostrophes. This is part 2 of this apostrophes lesson, and in this video I will be giving you the answers to the exercise I gave you. If you watch part 1, you will see that we went through how to use apostrophes, and we discussed how apostrophes can be used to shorten words, and they indicate where a letter has been missed out, and they also are used to show that a word belongs to something else, so they're used to show possession. So we went through some examples, we looked at those. You'll see all of this we went through in part 1 to show possession and to show omission, and then we looked at this exercise, and what I wanted you to do was to include the apostrophes that I'd missed out. Okay, so this extract had singulars, plurals and words ending in S that didn't need apostrophes at all, so I'm hoping that you have managed to figure out where these apostrophes went. So if we go from the very beginning, we can see that it says Karen decided to ignore her parents' instructions, and in the word parents you should have an apostrophe because the instructions belong to the parent, okay? So in that case we're talking about one parent, and therefore the apostrophe goes in the middle of the T and the S. Now, if we were talking about both her mum and her dad, the parents would be a plural and the apostrophe would come after the S. But in this case, we're just talking about her mum. Okay, in the next sentence, we've got she was bored of being the good girl and listening to her mum's rules and regulations. So again, the rules and regulations belong to her mum, and therefore the apostrophe comes between the M and the S. Then in this sentence here, we've got she wasn't even her real mum. So in this case, we're using the apostrophe of omission, and we're missing out the letter O in not. We're squidging those two words together, was and not, and therefore we need to use an apostrophe to show that the O is missed out. So if we look at the next paragraph, we've got the sentence that starts, she knew that all of the family's documents were up in the attic, so she headed there first. So we've got an apostrophe to show possession again. The documents belong to the family. Now, family is singular, and therefore the apostrophe comes after the Y and before the S. Then in the next sentence, we've got the attic's floor was covered with a thick layer of dust and grime built up after years of neglect. There's one attic, and therefore it is singular, and the floor belongs to the attic, and therefore it is an apostrophe of possession, and the apostrophe comes after the C and before the S. Then if we look at the next paragraph, we've got the sentence that reads, her family's past was right there before her. Her father's old uniform, her mum's wedding dress, her sister's old toys and her birth certificate. So we've got a couple of uses of the apostrophe in this sentence. So like I said before, we've got family, which is singular because we're talking about one family. So the apostrophe comes after the Y to show that the past belongs to the family. We've got one father, so that's singular again, and the old uniform belongs to him, so therefore the apostrophe comes after the R and before the S. We've got the wedding dress belonging to her mum, so again that's another singular, so the apostrophe comes after the M and before the S. But then we've got a plural here. Now you could have decided that she only had one sister, and therefore it would be perfectly acceptable to put the apostrophe after the R and before the S. But to mix things up a little bit, I've decided that this person has got two sisters, and therefore it is a plural, and therefore I've put the apostrophe after the S to show that the old toys belong to her sisters. Okay, and then finally, if we look at the bottom paragraph, we've got again family's photos. The photos belong to her family. Apostrophe to show possession, but the family is singular. And then we've got wasn't again, so the apostrophe of omission to show that the O is missed out. And then we've got Karen's family were not the people she lived with. So Karen is just singular, there's only one of her, and it's her family, they belong to her. So that is apostrophe of possession, and it comes after the N and before the S. So hopefully you've got all of those right. Make sure you read all the way through, thinking about whether they're singulars or plurals, whether they're used for omission, to show that something is missed out, or possession. Make sure you check through all of your work to make sure that the apostrophes are in the right place and they're used correctly. Very, very useful in the exam. Crucial, to be fair. If the examiner sees an apostrophe out of place, they will think that you have not got a clue what you're doing when it comes to your writing, so make sure you've got apostrophes sorted in your mind and you know exactly how to use them. Okay, so thanks for listening to this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for further videos, updates on any of the writing skills and also the reading skills for the GCSE English and English language exams. You can follow me on Twitter at AceYourExams, so if you've got any questions you can tweet me over there. And also there are loads of free downloads on my website. Just head over to aceyourexams.wordpress.com.